All right, welcome to a new episode of Real Estate versus Technology. If you're a systems person, systems process, feed the fucking machine and have more predictable results, then you're going to want to really listen into this episode. I'm going to be bringing you someone that's a master on the phones, great with systems and processes, and he is with one. Actually, he's with 3 to 4 of the guests that we've had on the show now. So if you've watched, let's see here, Victoria's episode, if you watched Dominic's episode, or the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Call Tattoo, he is with all of them at the only brokerage out here that you should probably think about being with if you're going to be with anyone out here in the Maricopa County, Arizona area. And he is with Call Tattoo. Where are we at? Changing camera angles. The man, the myth, the legend. What's up, dude? Greg on the show. I'm super excited for today's episode. And apparently it's his first episode, dude.
Dude, yeah.
Welcome. Let's give him a round of applause, dude. Let's go.
Dude, thank you. I'm super excited.
Let's go. Let's go. So, all right. So systems, processes, all that type of stuff. You're going to subscribe, hit the notification bell. You're going to stay until the middle to closer to the end to get all the goods. But let's get more into your story. So apparently, I remember moving here 3 years ago. I saw the sign for Justin's sign called Tattoo. And I said, one day I want to work with him. And he was out of a Keller Williams office. And that's down the street from here where I live in Gilbert. And apparently you've been at that office since 16.
I started there when I was 16. So this was like 2013, I think.
Wow.
Somewhere at 2013, 14.
Okay.
So starting that office wasn't even open, but it was that same brokerage owner, Jesse Herfel. So I started there. Jesse was just running a team. So I found this job by complete accident. Like,
really?
It's funny. I don't think anything happens on accident.
That's a reason.
But yeah, I say like I accidentally got into real estate. I was working at a warehouse job. I was 16, like in high school. I was making like 16 or 17 bucks an hour, like killing it in high school. But it was like in a warehouse. It was hot, and I started looking around. I was like, dude, if I can like maybe take $1 an hour less and work in AC at an office job, like done. Like,
give me the AC. It's fucking it's hot. It's like 100 degrees out right now.
Yeah, it's stupid. So like I was in, and that kind of turned into. So I replied to this Craigslist ad. Actually, it said office help. Said didn't say anything about real estate. It said answering phone calls, making copies, blah blah blah. Easy. And dude, I showed up and like this dude just like pitched me so hard. I mean,
really.
Brandon Morgan, if you're out there watching, he didn't pitch me. I'm so grateful that he did. But I mean, in a nutshell, he broke it down. Dude, if you set 5 appointments a day and half of them close, you'll make $100,000 before you turn 21 or before you even turn 18. I was like, dude, I'm fucking in. Let's go.
Talk about making less, just getting some AC, and now he's like, shit, I can make $100,000. So this is the exception of like the cold calling. This is where it came.
I had no idea that it was cold calling. Okay. I had no clue. So I left there stoked. I was so happy to go quit that job. I ended up going and I show up my first day. They take me, I got to show up at 8:00 for scripts with agents. I just sat because it was my first day.
Of course, learning.
Yeah. And they made me do it one time. I was like, sure, whatever. Like I can talk to somebody. And then they showed me the dialer.
Shit.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So like it was like a week of me like pissed off that I was there. Like I remember they didn't tell me how long it would take for lunch. So like, my first day, like after I got off that dialer, I took an hour and a half lunch.
I'm out of here. I didn't
an hour and a half lunch for the next year and a half. Like working on hourly for
Oh my God.
So like it wasn't until thank God like I didn't quit. I didn't want to quit until I found another job.
Yeah.
So when I about a weekend right around then, I was really getting tired of it, and Jesse's assistant was dropping checks, and I like looked over, and I don't even remember the amount, but I was like, "What?
Wow!
Like that on one deal?" And I asked one of the agents, I was like, "Dude, really?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's why we do this shit." So that kind of opened my mind to it. And I just stayed with it because it was like pretty laid back, easy going. Like I didn't really see why I was doing it, but it paid the bills and I was cool with it. It was AC. And then Jesse started kind of pushing me a little bit more.
Okay.
He expected more, which I would too.
Of course,
right?
I mean, come on now.
So we, I kind of hit a wall at one point, and I remember this was like my big wake up moment as far as the phones and real estate goes, is when he explained it as it's just a math problem. It's not, you need to go find a deal, you need to go find a deal, you need to go find a deal. Real estate is done at scale, just math. It's law of averages.
Come on now.
So
I love this.
It's like, rather than like being so overwhelmed and not knowing where to start, I just know that I need to talk to enough people every day.
Okay.
So you can look at conversions. So I've tracked my conversions for a long time. Right. So I know for every 25, 26 contacts, 26 people that I talk to, I should set an appointment.
Okay.
So my set appointments to gone on is right at about 33%. So it's really low. And it's because we pre-qualify all of our appointments.
Makes a lot of sense.
Them hard. So when we're going out to list somebody's home, we're not going out to be friends with them. We're not going out to talk about selling their house in 2 years, right? Like, we're going there to do business. We're coming there to solve a problem. So it's spending your time there on what you need is right now business, right? Obviously, you want to nurture it, but what's the highest and best use of your time?
Got it.
So when I figured it out, it's just talking to people every day and following up with people correctly. It just made way more sense. Like, there's nothing that you can't do because you know how to do it. And I think that's a big thing is it just seems so overwhelming. It's like, how do you start?
Yeah. So break it down in numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. So Craig's this ad, you're working a job you don't like, you're tired of the fucking heat. You think you're going to be like a receptionist, it sounds like. And then next thing you know, you're making these calls. And so you got motivated after seeing the big checks. You're like, there's more here to it. So where was it? Was that the paradigm shift where you're like, okay, I'm not going to cold call and just like get leads for this guy. I'm going to get my license or what transpired?
Yeah, exactly. So once I saw that, and Jim Marcuzzo, actually, if he's watching, he's still at that Keller Williams office. I think he was the one that I had a conversation with.
Okay.
He explained it like, dude, you get a head start. Like, you're not licensed yet. You're on the phones. Like, you're throwing them into a database with your name on it. Like, those are your leads when you get licensed.
Yeah.
Like, so when I figured out why I was calling, like, seeing it in a bigger picture, like, it's exhausting. Like, I don't plan on calling I don't show up every day like, boy, I can't wait to get my teeth kicked in by a FSBO. Like, that's not like but it's what I need to do. I know it works. And I've just refined my craft. And I'm not going to say I'm the best at it, but I'm consistent, right?
Definitely.
We have a process around how we talk to people, how we go on appointments, how we find opportunities.
Let's go.
So it's not just spinning. We try to eliminate spinning our wheels, right? It's not that we don't care about you. It's just we need to care about these people more now. Exactly.
Let's do one of these. Oh no, not one of those. I wanted to do a boom. That was a booing, not a boo. But no, it's so true. At the end of the day, I think a lot of individuals out there, and I think that whoever's listening and viewing right now, and you don't have a clear direction, you don't have a marketing degree and all that type of stuff. Yeah, this is legit. We're gonna have to get some new arms. These arms alone, not to get off topic here, are like $500, like $1,000 for like legit podcast.
We just upgraded our.
Did you?
These exact ones at our office.
Yeah, we had these ones are cool, but I gotta get the next level, which is like $500 an arm. It's like $1,000 just arms. If you guys don't know, you don't know. Now you know. But anyways, it's crazy because there's so many agents out there that don't understand systems and processes and SOPs and KPIs. SOPs, standard operating procedure, KPI, key performance indicator. And I like the fact that you broke it down and kept it simple. At the end of the day, someone who's calling a FSBO is for sale by owner, or you can do an expired listing and you can just call. And as soon as you hit 26, you know what is going to come out of that. I think it can help a lot of viewers and listeners out there. But the next thing, like you said, is like, let's get qualified first. Okay. At the end of the day, it's nothing against, and there's not favoritism here. It's just like this person has done what they need to do, and they are now able to qualify to buy a house, which you can serve. Instead of people out there, they go and show all these homes, they go and do all this work because they're excited to have someone that said, yes, finally, but they aren't disciplined and they don't have the financial that they need to have, the financials and the bank statements and the histories and all the things and the plea qual to be able to be qualified to look at specific homes that they can even afford in the first place.
Well, and I think a lot of it is it's taught the wrong way. Like a lot of agents are taught to stop everything and go show the house, go get the business, right?
So true.
Like, so how do you want to run your business? Like I operated like that, right?
Yeah.
And so I guess the in between stuff. So I worked with Jesse. Jesse sold his team. Actually ended up being the OP of the office. I worked with Heather Openshaw. So blessed. Like they were $100 million a year plus teams. I highly recommend anybody new, go attach yourself to a bigger boat like that.
Let's go.
I got to see how they perform, like how the systems work, how leads should be talked to, how they should be followed up with, how your past client lit, like how to generate business and not spend $1 million at the same time.
Wow.
Right? So that was huge. And eventually I just grew out of it, started a partnership that didn't work out, joined Impact with Matt Schick, Jeremy Fuse, Justin Mercer.
Let's go.
Had a huge month, like thought I was the shit. I think it was like a $40,000 a month, like took a hiatus. Yeah.
Let's go.
Figured out how quick you can spend that much money. It's don't stop working. Like that was a huge reminder in between there.
We're on Unleashed. Do you mind giving the number?
Dude, yeah, I had like I think like total with everything, it was like $43,000. And like I was on a team, right? Like the teams, like they're higher splits, right? So you gotta, but the idea behind the team is you're learning, the leads are provided, you spend time doing money making activities. That's what you should be doing as especially a new agent, right? So I went out, did it on my own. I was like, I don't need nothing. Like, don't touch me. And like, it really is like, you have to be predictable. Like, your business doesn't just magically, business doesn't start ringing. I found out. Like, so you can have all these wins, and then as soon as you stop, right? And that's the delayed gratification, right? So it's just going to be even longer. So after that, Justin ended up starting his team, and we were just having a conversation. I asked him about how are you going to run the database? Like, what does lead? Like, what does a couple things look like? And it just made sense. Like, I was kind of in between. He was starting something new. I needed a spot to land. So I came on as his sales manager.
Let's go.
Kind of set up his CRMs and help run day-to-day stuff. And then that's naturally kind of evolved into now we started buy right acquisitions, high-level home buyers on YouTube.
Let's go.
So we're cash buyers in both Arizona and then the Ohio market as well. Just started that. We just got like fully operational about 90 days ago.
Congrats.
So we're super excited for that. We're really pushed. We're super close to our first 6-figure month here within the first 90 days. So we're pushing this month to do that, and it's just through consistency. So like all of this didn't come from like it didn't just like nobody told me this. Like I don't like somebody could listen to this and they're probably still gonna go do the same shit.
Of course.
Again, right?
A lot of agents do this shotgun approach. let's just shoot and spray and pray, right? Instead of being deliberate and focused. And I hear all the time, whether it's you make 40,000 in a month and then you blow it, or you do that and then you find out the tax implications. You're like, oh shit, now I got how much do I have to pay for taxes and all the things? I think the biggest thing is that they don't teach the agents in like the test, right? You take the test has nothing to do with what you specifically need to do. A lot of agents, I was talking about this earlier, when they get in the business, they're like, well, I don't want to work for anyone. I want to work for my fucking self. And then that's great, but they have to have a coach or a mentor or understand that, like you said, like you need to have systems and processes and predictable, measurable ways to be able to scale your business. And if you don't, you're going to find yourself in a worse off predicament, whether it's either too much money you don't know how to actually manage, or that or a tax implication that's going to be fucked. So I know we fast forward really quick, but what did you do after you sold all that cash and you're like, fuck, like you just Back to calls?
Dude, yeah, straight back to the phones. So
Wow.
and that was, so I was really young too. So I'm
Okay.
still really young. Like I'm 25 right now.
Let's
but
go.
I like when I first got licensed, because I started I was going to school during the day, in the morning, had a half day my senior year, go dial at Jesse's office like 12 to 4, and then I'd go to night school because you couldn't do online school back then. So when I got licensed finally, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. And like, I don't have any family, like ready to buy. Like we moved here. It's like me and my dad, sister, grandparents, right?
Wow.
We don't have anybody ready to buy a house here. All my friends are 18, like, right?
They're not ready either.
They're not ready. So what do? What's my fastest way to right now business? And I remember Jesse said, well, I went to him with a problem, and I said, I don't know what to call it. He's like, what do you want? I was like, something right now business. He's like, he pulled up Zillow. He's like, look at all of these. These are people raising their hand saying, I would like to sell my house, right? So when I figured that out, and then figured out it's like, I can call somebody that's saying I need to sell my house and have the opportunity to go have a conversation with them. Yeah. It was a no-brainer. It was a game changer for me. So that that piece of it, as far as like, I guess, predictability goes, like that was huge.
I love that, man. Yeah. That's huge. That's awesome. So now you're helping Justin go through that process. You've had a couple of different transactions. You wanted right now money, and then when you just basically started calling to just start bringing in, it sounds like, more income. And then at what point did you were like, okay, like you always wanted or thought about CRM systems as a thing that you should be, on, and you should be documenting, and you should be email marketing and all the things since the beginning? Or
so I was like brought up that way too, right? Like Jesse Herfel's business model, like what he ingrained in everybody was, we are marketing based. We are prospecting based, marketing enhanced.
Interesting.
Right? So we prospect first, then we go spend money, right? Revenue first. So prospecting is number one overall, right? And so much of it is in the follow-up. I would argue almost all of it is in the follow-up.
Heck
right?
yeah.
If you're doing what I did, right, and you're just calling FSBOs, you're just calling canceled expireds, you're doing it the fucking hard way. And it's not if, it's when are you gonna get tired of it. Like I got sick of it. I got tired of it. You just naturally do. And the whole thing there is, I was forgetting the database. Like I know how to run a database. I know how follow-up systems should work, right?
Got it. Yeah.
I just wasn't doing it because I wasn't worried about that. I was worried about the right now business, right? Yeah. So we would build it. I helped build it for the team, right? And I preach systems and processes. I share this like to tell everybody, you don't always have to have your shit together, but like it is the most important piece of our business. Yeah. And I don't even have my own personal one figured out. It's not where it should be, right? Yeah. So that's kind of what we've evolved into now with buyer acquisitions, call tattoo, building out our CRM, all of our follow-up processes. So every agent's job, every single day, not just for the team's business, but for their own business, because every agent runs their own business. Whether you're on a team or not, it's your own business, right? Yeah. So everybody's job every day is just to feed that machine. Yeah. Right. It's automated. It's in one spot, but it prevents, like, you will not have to worry about, oh, I didn't remember to call Sally. Right. I forgot to call this guy. Or even worse, you call them and they say, oh, I just listed it. Actually, it's, if you want to pull it up on Zillow. The neighbor listed it. Right. So it prevents that. Right. And additionally, like now your right now business is an and to your database, right? The database just spits business out, right? That's all it does. That's how it should be built, and that's how you step away, right? I love that. So we're working on the just keeping our head down. Like we're so laser focused on activity. I love that. We finally found our one thing. Like this year, I feel like I found like okay, this is what I need to be doing to build my business.
Let's go. If you agree, we want to hit your feedback down below. Systems, a process, a CRM that should be spitting out business and helping you with prospecting, and then calling and staying on top of your prospects, your pipeline and FISBOs and for sale by owners, and just making those dials. So I know you guys do, I want to say, is it seltzers and scripts or
Yeah, scripts and seltzers.
There you go. Scripts and seltzers. And then you do that each week. And so you practice your scripts. And then how many calls would you say you're making on a weekly basis?
So the important thing with that question, right? Because that's the question that we get a lot, is how many calls should I be making, right? And the answer is you need to be calling every day.
Got it.
Right? Like if you call for 5 days a week and you make 25 contacts every day, right? These don't have to be insane numbers. Like if you've never called before, start at 10 contacts a day.
There you go.
Start at 15 conversations a day. Because you don't have to be perfect to get on the phones. Yeah. Right? So consistency is the most important thing.
Definitely.
Like because what everybody does is they do it for 2 weeks, or they do it for a month, or they do it for 2 months, they do it for 3 months, and then they stop.
Yep.
And say this doesn't work.
Yep.
Right? So it's all in addition to, and like it's fucking hard, it fucking sucks, but so does having a regular job. Like so does
pick your heart.
Right, exactly. So just getting really clear, I think, on what those money-making activities are has been huge for us.
I love that.
And what everybody should be doing every day, because it doesn't need to be some long, drawn-out, big, huge process, right?
Yeah,
it
exactly.
Doesn't. That's what we figured out.
I love that. So let's get into a little bit of nerdy practical for anyone who's viewing and watching. Like, so they're new or they've been in the business for a little while, and they like making calls. They're not maximizing their CRM system. What would you give someone who's viewing and listening right now as far as a practical ABCD to get their CRM up and running so they can have a little more systems going? Nothing super crazy, but just get them off the ground.
So number one is to have a CRM.
Okay.
Right? I don't care if your CRM is a spreadsheet. Have somewhere to
spreadsheet, CRM,
right?
get one.
Not a notebook, right? Somewhere that's digital, somewhere where it can be accessed.
Okay.
What it really should be, and this might be a hard answer for some people to hear, what it really should be is you need a CRM. So you need a good CRM, you need a CRM that texts, calls, emails, drip campaigns, right? The most common thing I'll hear is, well, I can't afford it. So if you can't afford it and you don't want to pay splits and you want business, what?
Yeah, exactly.
What are we talking about here, right? Go join a team. Like you don't need, like if you can't afford a CRM, you shouldn't be trying to start a business.
There you go.
Right?
Good notes to take.
So go plug yourself to a bigger boat. And then go create opportunity that way.
Okay.
Like go learn. You don't need to recreate the wheel.
No.
Like we've moved so quickly. We've never been to Ohio. We don't need this. If you ask me, Justin, or Dom why we have Ohio as a geo right now, like why that's our secondary market, none of us can tell you the exact answer.
Interesting.
It's just what happened, but we're moving quickly because we're not recreating the wheel. We know what works. We're just looking at what other people have done and trying to do it better and faster.
I love it.
Like moving with a sense of urgency and doing it more consistent than anybody. Like the CRM is just a tool to help you be more consistent.
Yeah,
and just help you to be more efficient.
I love that. And just in case anyone doesn't know what CRM stands for, it's Customer Relationship Management Tool. And I like Follow Up Boss personally at Liftoff Agent, who sponsors the show. Shout out Liftoff Agent, #1 marketing positioning agency. We recommend Follow Up Boss. And if you cannot afford one, go join a team and use their tools, systems, and processes. I know depending on if you go Real or if you go EXP, then they're using Chime. And so depending on your brokerage you go with, they will provide you also with a CRM and system as well. So moving forward, so now they have some things to think about as far as like being practical. So using a CRM, so many dials you need to make per day. What you put in is what you get out. Yeah. So what's your vision for the company as you grow and as you're working with Justin, you're working with Dom, and check out Dominic's podcast, Justin's podcast. Justin's already out. Dominic should be out by the time yours goes out.
Sweet.
And I don't know if I said Dom. I think I said Jordan or something at the beginning of the episode. So hey, it's unleashed. So we're not perfect here.
Is what it is.
Is what it is. We're gonna keep fucking moving. So what's the goal? Can you visualize and put some context to where you're seeing the company head towards?
So what I figured out for myself personally is like I really enjoy helping and teaching and implementing, right?
Okay.
And I also love the sales side. So I got to go through a program called Sandler Sales last year, and I got into like the psychology behind sales. And that was really big. So that was huge for me. Like all of our scripts are very question based. It's not about like us as the salesperson. It's about the customer, the prospect, right?
Yeah.
So knowing that, like that was really eye-opening for me, and I was able to share that. And without knowing all of it, just sharing some of the concepts, like there was tremendous feedback from several people. So like to take an agent like that knows nothing and to take them on a for sale by owner, a canceled expired, and then go and get their listing doc signed the same day, like it is so cool to do that. Like there's nothing like that. So we started this as kind of like a mix of we want to educate, we want to help, and we also want to show everybody that you don't have to have all your shit together.
Yeah.
Like none of us know everything. We don't all have all the answers, right?
Exactly.
So that was really big.
I love that.
Yeah. So I think the future, like everything is being built. Like I mentioned it earlier, like you shouldn't build a business where you have to be on the phones for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's just silly, right? So when we're looking at scalability, like you have to design, we're building everything where we can put somebody in place.
Yeah.
And putting somebody in place, right, that's just making sure that the machine's being fed, our CRM, right? Everything else, our systems, processes, everything's documented.
Got it.
So our goal is we want to get dialed in Ohio. So the Arizona market, we have our retail side, we have our investment side.
Okay.
Super dialed, love our relationships here. Ohio, it's a newer market for us. We're still getting our footing there a little bit.
Okay.
But we love that's
awesome.
huge. So as soon as we get a little bit more established there, we want to put me and a Dominic in place to run Ohio, and we go open another state. It's the first time where we've seen it where like, oh wow, like there really is no guesswork here because everything is outlined. We're very clear on everything that we do is very intentional. Like every conversation, every question, every note, every field, right? It's all very purposeful because it's used somewhere else for follow-up.
Let's go.
To make sure the ball doesn't get dropped and just to run more efficient. So I think that's a massive action and efficiency. That's
awesome. That's huge. Because it sounds like, so right now you're buying these homes for cash. They obviously have problems, have issues. And then are you then going and rehabbing these properties and then putting them back on the market, or what does it look like?
So yeah, we're a solution-based company. Okay. We don't like to use the word, I wouldn't say don't like to, but really rather than a cash buyer, we're more just problem solvers.
Got it.
That's all we're looking for every single day is the opportunity to solve a problem.
Got it.
Right.
I love it.
So we do wholesale, we do traditional assignments, we do novations as well. We played in that field. And if it makes sense to go the retail route, we will, right? So now the conversation's not like, hey, can I just give you a cash offer? Or, hey, can I just list your house? It's, hey, have you considered, is there a problem that I can solve here?
Got it.
Right? Because nobody just sells their house just to sell their house most of the time.
Yeah.
Right? There's a problem. They need extra room. They want something newer, right? There's something there. So that's all we're looking for every day.
That's interesting. Yeah, it definitely makes me think of people first. And I remember like literally before the show went live, and we're live right now, Real Estate First Technology, IG, check us out, links down below. And Justin called. And so shout out Call Tattoo, Justin Mercer gave me a call, said I have this trailer, and we were talking before we got on the show. Trailers are not sexy, but there's a lot of retirement and snowbird that come out here to Arizona. And so we do fix and flip in that arena. And so he's like, I got a guy. And it was crazy that you said that, because he literally said, I had this individual, he's wanting to move to the Philippines. He just wants to get cash out of his house and sell it. He's probably going to stay there for 90 days before he makes his move and moves out of the country and what have you. And it's crazy because I'm going actually to the Philippines in October.
Oh, shit. And small world.
Yeah,
huh?
small world. I'm going to Korea, I'm going to the Philippines, and majority of our team's in the Philippines. So we outsourced ever since COVID and everything else. And so, so he was very much, this is the individual, this is his need, this is the problem that we're looking to solve. And it lines up with exactly what you were just saying, Greg. So, so I love that.
And we have such a bad, I don't know, I don't want to make the assumption, right? But I think that it is like a lot of people have bad, I guess, views of wholesalers or investors, or they have a bad taste in their mouth. And really, I think it stems from a lack of education. Like maybe not I think on both ends, on wholesalers and investors ends of things, and on the agent side of things too.
Definitely.
Right? Because there's 1,000,001 courses now that wholesale real estate, right?
Yeah.
Like it is so hard. I mean, if you're looking at the circle of people that need to buy or sell a house this year, like as a wholesaler or an investor, I'm looking for like 1% of that circle, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna take a weekend class and go start a business? Like this shit is hard, guys.
It's super hard.
There's nothing you can do about the $40,000 you're expecting tomorrow.
Yeah.
They canceled. They're gone. They're not showing up. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll lose on them, right?
Yeah.
But it just is what it is. And when you just operate according to what the system is and what your standards are, right? You stop attaching yourself to the outcome.
Yeah.
Like we can have 3 cancellations and like obviously that fucking sucks. And we try to do everything we can to prevent a cancellation.
Of course, yeah.
But it just comes with the territory. It's not let's throw a pity party. It's not, oh my God, how could we possibly, why me? Like just quit crying about it.
Yeah.
Like you chose the industry, right?
Exactly.
It's just the game. So if you don't want to play the game, go play something like go play 9 to 5.
Yeah, go choose your heart.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. So all links are also down below. So if anyone who's watching right now and wants to work on systems processes, they're in the Maricopa County area, want to join a team, want to help with scripting, can they reach out to you?
Yeah, please. We just started a YouTube channel, High Level Home Buyers. There's a lot more like specific in-depth content. How to have conversations, how to break shit down. We thrive off relationships. We love working with other agents. We are not here to pull one over on anybody. Like we try to pay agents that bring us deals more than anybody else. So they keep bringing them. So we really want to make it like we are as humanly possible. We are people first. Like relationship first.
I love that. People first. Okay. Round of applause. People first. At the end of the day, it's not about transacting and money. That's the byproduct of serving, supporting, and solving problems. As we come to the end of the show, we always like to leave a golden nugget, something that you would like for our viewers and listeners to take from today's episode and really think about it and apply it to their life, to their business, so they can have more success. What would you like to leave with our viewers and listeners as we close out?
Oh, man. Fuck, now you're putting me on the
spot.
Right?
Put you on the spot, man. Philosophical shit.
I know, right? I would say just staying, like, not attaching yourself to the outcome. Like that was a huge eye opener for me. Like I don't care about obviously I do everything every day for the end result and byproduct of the work.
Yes.
But I'm not attached to the outcome because it's not a question of if the outcome's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
I know it will because I'm doing the consistent activities.
Yes.
There is no question.
Yes.
Right? Like, so just do the consistent thing every single day. And I'm trying to apply it in all aspects of my life. Like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm the most perfect guy. I know people that are 10 times as consistent as me.
Yeah.
Right? But that's all you can do is just keep it top of mind.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Because at the end of the day, you might not have had that tomorrow because you want it tomorrow, but you can have it in a month or 2 months. So as long as you keep focused, which is like what they say, attention goes, energy flows. They say manifestation. Like you gotta imagine and feel like you already have it, even though you don't.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna come. And the more that you put that passion and everything behind it, it's just gonna happen no matter what. But Dude, this has been amazing.
Dude, this was super fun.
I'm glad you came on, man.
Dude, I'm stoked.
We were at the Play Bigger event, and then I was just like, I talked to Don. I was like, I got the show. Justin was already on. I was like, dude, you gotta get on the show. And I think we didn't get you on until we went to the last Successful Misfits event. So shout out Successful Misfits, Justin Mercer. We have a huge event coming up.
Huge event.
There's a link.
Make sure you get the tickets. Like I can't believe it's $300, $200. I don't know what he's charging. It's stupid cheap.
Yeah, like, and the keynote speakers and
stupid lineup,
dude.
Like, I'm so excited.
Amazing. So everyone on Instagram right now, live watching this later, definitely check out Successful Misfits. Links down below for IG Live right now, and also for YouTube and everywhere this podcast is streaming. Big shout out. Thank you yet again for your time and your story. Dude, I appreciate your energy, bro. Always. We'll have to have you come back on again. And see how the systems and the processes and the growth has happened over the years.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Liftoff Agent, #1 marketing positioning agency, helping you out with branding, website positioning, those lead pages, and get on YouTube, some passive prospecting opportunities there as well. And I'll see you always all on the next one. Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode on Real Estate versus Technology.